Welcome back to Derry Public Radio. Reporting from the basement of the Derry Civic Center, this is CM Alexander with the news. This weekend, Derry welcomes a new kind of playroom, Gentle Gerald's, the BDSM store for people who describe the taste of ketchup as spicy. Celebrate their grand opening with special offers on safety-first fantasies like handcuffs with no latch, blindfolds made of sheer fabric, and a new limited edition spanking pillow for the partner who whispers, "Is that okay?" with every hit. Gentle Gerald's, where the only thing getting tied up is your self-esteem. You're listening to Derry Public Radio. This is Derry Public Radio. Sorry, I'm just really...
I'm leading the episode.
I'm tired because I've just been handcuffed to this table.
Oh. Did you not uncuff yourself after we left?
You guys didn't...
Hey,
how am I
You didn't give us a
readers?
safe word. You didn't give us a word to...
Welcome to
been here
Derry
all
Public
week. All right.
Radio,
I'm gonna
a
get
bi-weekly
water.
Stephen King Book Club podcast. I'm your host, Eve Godot, and I'm here with my co-hosts, CM Alexander
Hello, everyone.
and Josh Kahn.
Hey, y'all.
And today, I've never done this. Have I ever done
No,
this?
you
Not
did
since
so
year
good.
one, I think.
It's been a long time. I'm running on pure nerves, baby. All right. We're covering the second half of Gerald's Game. Fun time book.
That's a very accurate description.
It is.
And I believe, Josh, you're going to be leading our episode today.
I sure am, Eve. Thank you so much.
I did great.
To recap from the last episode, Jesse got handcuffed to a bed. Picking up from that,
Yeah, true.
it's a real bottle episode. This
Yeah.
this book. Which before we even get into the book, because towards the end,
Mhm.
I realized how this book gets away with that because all of the memories, the way
Mhm.
we get pulled aside, it authentically made me want to read just Jesse awake kind of experience and see how weird that timeline feels without being able to escape in these places in her mind like she does. I don't know. Just hit me funny.
The book would be 40 pages long.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If
And we
the...
talk about it for 6 hours.
All right, let's get into this episode. We're going to pick up. We left off last episode on the events of the eclipse. We didn't get into the events in detail because, let's face it, we only want to talk about any specifics one time, and
Yep.
we're not going to do it right now. We'll do it when it matters.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about real quick. I want to go back to the eclipse connection because we also kind of glossed over it. And I always misremember what that connection is because when I think, a scene between these two books, it must be her seeing somebody handcuffed to a bed.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's during the eclipse.
Yeah.
It is a different thing than with Dolores. Dolores, there is 2 beats that even cross over, whereas this incident with Jesse kind of comes up a few more times. She reflects on this connection a little bit more. And it is, she's on her hands and knees looking under her bed. And then that's when the vision of Dolores, who is on her hands and knees
At
with
the
her
bottom of the
slip.
stairs, right?
No, it is
No.
with looking down the
The
well.
well.
That's right. Okay.
And
I've
she
read
has-
books.
She describes like a silver puddle next to her, and it's her slip that she ended up tearing free and throwing down. I'm not sure the connection that she pulls from this image, though, is the smell.
Mhm.
And as we tie the themes of each of the sexual assaults between these two books, I thought it was interesting that smell and then being associated with the smell that's in the well. She doesn't know who's in the well, but it's
Dolores's ex-husband.
right. And I thought that was really interesting.
I didn't think about that. I like that. Well, I don't like it.
Right.
It's horrible, but
It's looking for the poetic ways that it rings through. I don't know. So at the start of this next chapter, Jesse wakes up mercifully in the light of dawn and reflects on this vision and memory of Dolores, this woman that she has no idea who she is or what she was doing. And she debates staying asleep, but then she hears a buzzing noise. What could be buzzing in this room? The eye roll, CM.
It's flies.
Yeah, oh, the flies have started to feast on Gerald. And I don't know how familiar either of you are with rotting carcasses.
Only like fish on the beach or an animal that died, not human.
Yeah, definitely not human. Let's all go on record as not human.
Definitely
It's a normal
not.
thing to go on record for.
But like I said, I talk about all the time. I grew up in the country, like
Yeah.
seeing animals hit by cars or deer or
It's
whatever.
a
Like,
very
come across it a
specific-
lot.
It doesn't even take it to be rotting
No.
for it to be an awful smell.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before, but one time when I was a teenager, my grandmother called me and said, "Hey, I was trimming the dog's nails." A trigger warning for this whole story. It sucks. I was trimming the dog's nails and I nicked the quick. Can you come over and help
Oh, it just takes so long.
clean up?
Yeah.
The dog is okay,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
The important note.
They just bleed a lot when
It's
that
just-
happens, and we all
and
hate
it was a British Mastiff.
Oh, boy.
The biggest dog you've ever
So
seen.
blood
A
everywhere.
mountain.
And so walking into the front of my grandma's house, that smell is burned into my brain forever.
Yeah.
Just that amount of fresh blood smells awful. And so having your half-digested husband
Oh.
sitting out on the floor overnight, you got to get that in the fridge quick, huh?
Thank goodness it is October.
Oh, yeah,
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
That is true. Not so great as Jesse's only wearing panties.
Yeah. I'd
Mm.
rather be cold than in a hot room with a corpse.
That's an interesting dichotomy.
if
Would you
you
rather be
ask
cold
most-
or in a stink
That's
room?
a good would you rather for Christmas.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I am having a hard time deciding.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Save it for Christmas.
Save it for Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Would you
people
rather be
who-
cold or stinky?
People who are new to us are going to be so curious.
Confused. Yeah. It's a really interesting moment though when she wakes up. She tries to move her arms, and they are so much more dead than she anticipated. She describes them, I think, as flesh or meat from hooks.
It's real scary. I mean, body horror is
Yeah.
awful. And earlier in the book, when she has that horrible cramp in her arm and she's like, "This is the worst pain I've
Yeah.
ever been in," here she's like, no, that was nothing compared to this. And she goes on like a little riff thinking about crucifixions.
Yeah.
And it's so ghastly and unimaginable being in that level of pain, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, because being raised in a religious household,
That's bad too.
nobody talked to me about like crucifixion was just very sort of broadly explained. Nobody talked about the torture of it, on your muscles and limbs and stuff. Just the shape that Jesse is in it gets so much worse, but it's so uncomfortable because at this point her lips are cracked and like you said, her arms are sore. Her tongue is swollen.
Oh.
I hate that.
Hate that.
Hate that. And she's like just coming in and out of, do we call it hallucinations at this point? Is it
Yeah,
hallucinations
she's very
or flashback?
semi-conscious.
Yeah, she's not fully aware.
I do. She thinks about all the times she's read about news stories or seen. She describes seeing a high wire act fall one time, realizing that she is now experiencing the same thing that all of those people felt. The idea that their death is imminent and impossible. And that's wild.
I hate that. I
I'm
am
so affected.
That's the
Yeah.
subtext for this book.
terrified of
That.
heights.
Yeah.
I am terrified of heights. One of the things that like really affected me, scared the ever living bejesus out of me when I was younger
Cliffhanger.
was, of course, a cliffhanger, specifically the cliffhanger where Peggy Hill falls out of the sky. She goes parachuting and her parachute doesn't open.
Yeah.
She talks about that where she's like, oh, there are people who, you know, get in these situations. And if you could ask them what, and they're the ones that survive that are like, what were you thinking of in those last minutes? And they're like, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Like, I can't think about that. That's so scary to me.
Just the inevitability of, because I've had that in like a very mini baby way that doesn't even feel appropriate to talk about in face of like imminent death.
Sure.
Where you're just thinking, oh, this is happening and I have to tolerate it and there's nothing I can do about it and it'll be done.
We talked about on an episode in the past, you and Devin driving and seeing a sun that was impossibly large.
Thought it was the end of the world.
Yeah. But like, so
you
in that
really...
moment, it's the most real thing that's ever happened to you.
And what I found is in all these life and death situations I've had, all I can ever think about is just trying to maintain my sanity and just be okay. Nothing else kind of comes into my brain.
Interesting.
It's just sort of like this get control of yourself and hold on to it feeling. I can't imagine being Jesse. I would do so bad.
It's interesting, though. She, for the first time, talks to God right around here. And she asks for it not to hurt is her only ask. But she also compares herself to an abandoned dog left to die by its master. So with Prince there, I thought that was great.
Kept waiting for
foreshadowing for when she eats Gerald.
I kept waiting for the ending I didn't remember where she adopts Prince.
This is where she describes the muscle spasm as like glass inside her muscles. It's so gross.
I hate the idea of being in so much pain that you're like, this is it. This is the worst. And then later being like, oh, that wasn't bad at all compared to this. I mean, because you know there's going to be stages past that.
I get Charlie horses on a fairly regular basis. And I will like sometimes just wake up screaming in pain. And that sucks. And that I just like have to walk it off.
Yeah.
Waking up to that and being like, oh, and also.
Do you ever wake up screaming with a Charlie horse and think, the Today Show's on?
What?
Because that's what she does.
That's right. No.
She takes a moment to reflect in the middle of her pain that elsewhere in the world, the Today Show is on. It is an average Thursday morning. There are people getting their coffee, going to work while I think she describes it as an accident in progress takes place.
What a segue. I'm sorry. I just have to
thank you.
Give you props for that. That was yeah, comparing the
usually I wake up and think, God damn it, how can I be bad at sleeping?
I've had all these years of practice.
Like, fuck.
The thoughts of all the mundane things happening without her. Like, it's that idea. I mean, we all have this realization at some point past adolescence, but that the world doesn't revolve around us. Yeah. And things go on without us.
I held off on all the dark stuff.
I'm a solipsist.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, solipsism is the belief that everything in the world is being created by your own brain. Thing that you are not currently experiencing or like sensing just isn't there until your brain is like, oh, I bet Devin's in the basement, and then we'll hear him playing bass or something.
I bet I have tacos.
What's funny?
That didn't work. Yeah, the thing about solipsism is it's stupid.
We stuck away from the dark as long as we could, but now we need to get back into it because Jesse can only think of mundane things for so long before things inevitably bring her back.
I was so mad though, because I was like, "We're done."
We're done.
Like, and Jesse's like that too. She's like, "We're done."
But now we need to talk about Jesse's home life again. More importantly, Sally, her mom, because like a lot of her train of thought, it goes this mundane thing, and then something shirks her back to she has a thought that she thinks that her mom would have believed she seduced her father if the truth ever came out. And that Sally had become paranoid and irrational as her marriage got worse. And Will seemed to be spared all of the wrath, but the girls got unexpected yells and punishments. And at one point, there's a memory that comes back a few times where Jesse says she came into my room, threw some high heel shoes at me, and then slammed the door shut and left. And that's scary and intense. And then it is immediately followed by every time she did something like this, I thought she knew. I thought she found out. And the idea that for the rest of her life, every time her mom was suddenly and by surprise mad at her, she thinks about it.
It makes sense.
It seems kind of like a good time to get into this kind of side discussion. The idea of her coming back to this assault fresh every single time this memory is triggered is an interesting dichotomy with the sustained abuse that was in Dolores Claiborne. And I think we often talk about with this subject matter, like, why? What are we exploring? What are we getting out of this? And something that I don't know if this is anything, but kind of jumped out to me is that this, in Dolores Claiborne, there was a pattern of this abuse that kept escalating that Dolores ended up killing her husband for. In this, it is a single incident that remains a haunting, triggering event. Like the sustained damage is...
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
It's not a single incident, though, because we're going to get to a conversation between Jesse and her dad shortly.
That's coming up next,
Yeah, we understand in this conversation that there's a lot of grooming, which is typically the case happening here. And all of that, people usually don't think of it this way just because they don't know, but all of that is the abuse as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of grooming, which she reflects on later, she comes to realize the truth rather than what her father made her think is...
About this also being abuse.
Oh, gosh.
What?
So is this story just the story from Dolores's daughter's perspective if Dolores had not killed her father?
Interesting.
Because Dolores saw the pattern. She saw what you were just saying, CM, all of the stuff leading up to
the incident is also the
act,
abuse,
but all of the grooming. Dolores, being a good person, or being like, that's unfair maybe, but being like aware and like noticing, and she does something about it. Whereas Jesse's mother is so wrapped up in her own shit, her own failing marriage, that she does the opposite and puts the blame on Jesse.
And there's also sometimes parents they want to think that they intervened before it was too late, not realizing.
Oh, God.
So I think parents can sometimes tell themselves that story, like, oh, well, it's okay. As soon as I suspected there was anything weird, we were out of there. And it's like, oh yeah, but by the time it was so obvious that you saw it, it had been building and building and building and things happening. Sorry, I just want to be, no, I appreciate what you said about her mother, and then kind of like modified that because I think it is, I don't want to assume her mother knew or didn't or anything. It's hard.
We only know what Jesse knows.
Yeah.
That's
but
what makes it.
She did treat her very poorly.
Yes.
Which can we talk about just kind of briefly, because we were so just only wanting to deal with this now because it serves, not that the other exploration of her abuse did not serve a purpose, but this one's about freedom. And I think it's easier for us and more lighthearted to talk about that. But we should set up how the day where Jesse and her father were alone came to be, because it is why Jesse doesn't tell her mom, because of this conversation she overhears.
What Jesse, when she's reflecting on this, the way the house is set up, if you sit on like the front porch, you can basically hear like you're in the room, in the dining room, and she hears what she considers her dad going to bat for her, because mom never takes my side, but dad takes my side. And I told him that that's what I wanted, so he's going to make that happen. And they that's where we had the conversation. You treat her more like a girlfriend than your daughter. And
she says so many mean things about Jesse, just about what a brat she is, basically.
Right.
She sounds like she doesn't like her. If you heard your parent talking about you that way, you'd be like, oh, my mom hates me.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
And she, after all this conversation goes, and her mom says, you're welcome to her. And she later has a conversation with her dad about, how did that conversation go? And dad lies to her. He says, basically, yep, she was on board, blah, blah, blah. And the importance of that is because Jesse knew she could hear him. He knew how the acoustics worked. Because there's something he says makes her think, oh, he knows I'm listening.
Oh, because her mother says something and he's like, she's right out there reading a book. And she's like, oh, shit, he knows I'm right here. Because the kids use this to spy on their parents, but never for anything serious.
Right.
And she goes through these feelings of guilt. Like when it starts to get intense, she's like, I shouldn't be hearing this.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you don't want to hear bad shit, you can't eavesdrop on people, I guess.
That's
Because she's a kid.
Right.
Yeah, so it endears her father to her even more because she's like, oh, he's such a great dad. My mom hates me, but here he is trying to spare my feelings and smooth
he's protecting
things over.
me. And yeah. And essentially, once the mission's been accomplished, puts it back on her of like, this is, you said you wanted it, pumpkin, so I made it happen. And that's how it starts there. So after she thinks about her mom, she goes back into remembering the rest of the day after coming inside from the eclipse and getting changed. And she's getting changed, and she turns around and she sees her dad there while she's
standing in the
changed.
doorway watching her.
Terrifying.
After she had to rinse her underwear.
And this is Jesse now remembering, and it's very complicated because we go through this, but it's described as Jesse finally seeing the manipulation laid at her feet.
Because all she did last time, I don't mean to diminish it by saying all she did, but what she had accomplished last time was remembering the trauma that she experienced. But part of processing that is recognizing that she was manipulated and it wasn't her fault, because she doesn't know that yet.
Right.
This worked as a jump scare for me.
The dad standing there.
Yeah.
Yes, it did me too.
Especially because the lead into the thought is Jesse thinking to herself like the thing he did on the porch was bad, but it was not. It was nothing like what he did next in my bedroom. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's going to get worse. And it does in a way, because this just emotional manipulation and gaslighting is terrible. It's just terrible in a different way.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird to see something monstrous happen and have a reaction to it, but then to recognize that the monster wasn't a monster, it was a person making a conscious decision, and now they're masking that monster, is like a whole different kind of terror. And that's kind of what I got out of this conversation with the dad, of like, what she's seeing now is that he set this up, that he put these pieces where they ended up. So after this jump scare, as you described it, Eve, he fakes a breakdown, essentially, saying, look, we have to tell your mom about this because you can't keep a secret. Again, putting it back onto her.
It is, yeah.
You're going to tell your sister.
Yeah.
And
And
your friend.
he pushes, every time she says no, he pushes with another example, causing her to defend herself more and more aggressively every time she has to defend herself.
Defending herself so hard that she's begging him, like, I promise, no, don't tell.
The entire time making it completely, what we have to figure this out together, because what just happened was awful. Like what we did was terrible.
He's sharing
and you're part of
responsibility
it
with her, which he cannot do.
sucks.
And then he finishes it by saying, "Fine, we'll do it your way."
Ugh.
And again, the one final it is for her. And then this is a very complicated moment because right after they have this conversation, it's going to be a secret. She has a pause and she asks if she could be pregnant. And it is a sincere, afraid 9-year-old asking a question. And she can, now thinking about it, recognize him almost like suppressing a chuckle. And she realizes that he could lie to her, looking her dead in the eye, but it is after he says, no, you can't be, and then he apologizes and says he's ashamed. That's when he looks away. He does all of these things, and just seeing her, hearing her recognize it in her head right now is so devastating. The fact that she can see the shame, and that's the part he wants to protect.
Yeah.
And they hug, and she remarks that his lower body never touches her body again at that point.
And at some point, I think she also remarks on how their relationship changed after that. Like, they were not close. I mean, obviously that's a good thing, but for her at that age, she lost her dad is what it felt like at the time.
And this is, Eve, you kind of hinted a little bit around this, that she refers to this incident as, the quote is, a sexual accident about as serious as a stubbed toe.
Sorry.
Well, yes, that is the correct response. But it is, again, like, it's so hard being in Jesse's head because you see her make these moments forward, but then these steps back.
I didn't get therapy until I was 30 because I was like, worse things could have happened. I need to just get over it. That's a roadblock for a lot, not just assault, but like
so
a lot of
us.
people not, because you're like, I could be like this person who clearly has had worse things happen to them. I don't need therapy. I need to toughen up. And hopefully listeners, like younger generations, this is not
Go to
the
therapy,
message society
everyone.
gave you. And
Thank
and you're
God.
like, you old weirdos. I want that for you.
No joke.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I can't wait to sound like dinosaurs.
Yes. About healthy stuff.
Right. But this is when we get Ruth back. Ruth's voice chimes in and says, "Hey, you're still making excuses for that piece of shit. Knock it off."
Yeah, Ruth.
I love Ruth. I don't think we talked about it enough in last
she makes
episode.
this survivable.
I love her. I wish that there was a Ruth sequel.
She's like our Cynthia.
Every
From
single
Rose Matter.
thing that is said about this woman, I'm like, this bitch seems so fucking cool. I want to be best friends with this, like, apparently weirdo leftist lesbian.
I think they're out there.
I love her.
Jesse starts to now focus. All right, we've been in the past too long. Let's jump in the present.
Yeah.
Let's focus on escape. And she works through the escape options, most obvious to least obvious. So let's go through them together. Eve, why aren't the keys on the dresser a good option?
They're too far away. She can't reach them.
Well, even if she couldn't reach the lock.
Yeah,
could
she couldn't reach. I do love that because she like spends so long.
Thinking
a long
about-
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Going through every like beat by beat. Like if I move the bed, I could get over there and then stops and has that same moment that she had earlier in the book where she stops and goes, "Oh, I can't get the water to my lips." You know, it's that moment again of, wait, no, my arms are too far apart. I can't get the key to the things.
CM, what about the phone? Time is a factor. She wants to get out of here before nightfall.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I got lost in what I would have used my body to tip the bed on its side. And then I would have scooted it out the door.
Yeah.
Door's open. She
Door's
doesn't
open.
have to open it or unlock it. And down the road until somebody found me handcuffed to my bed in my panties.
I like that.
I just want to know how you plan to get the momentum to carry that big ass bed sideways.
It's
like
about how you like.
adrenaline, man.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's correct.
No, that's it. Well, she stretches her legs to see if there's a chance she might be able to even knock it off the receiver, and starts sliding off the bed and starts freaking out about being able to get back on because the pain becomes really intense.
Because it's stretching her horrid muscles.
She thinks about skinning the cat over the back of the headboard, which is a great idea. But the shape of the headboard would essentially mean that if she did a flip over it, her torso would be on the top of the headboard and her feet would just be dangling.
Yeah, she talks about the possibility of fucking it up and breaking, shattering both of her wrists and shoulders and just be dangling from a headboard until you die. And that sounds bad.
Jesse, now,
I wouldn't want to do that.
No.
When she runs out of ideas, sobs tearlessly and dozes off again and dreams of Death being in the corner, who lunges at her and jump scares her back into reality. And this is, I think, where we get the name of this being in the corner, the nomenclature. She thinks of the stranger, thinks of him as a space cowboy, an outsider, which might be one of the earliest times we've just seen King describe one like an otherworldly being as an outsider. I know we've clocked it a few more times in previous books, but
all I know is that song is lame and it's a dumb name for a being that is sincerely terrifying in every aspect throughout the entire book.
Yeah, I like Moonlight Man better.
Right.
Moonlight Man, scary.
Sense. Yeah.
She daydreams when she wakes up. She daydreams about the people who will find her body and that they'll remark she died hard. And that's when she notices that, as she starts panicking and bangs her head on the headboard to get off the panic train, a theme that will recur for the rest of this book. And as she calms down, gets herself under control, she notices a pearl earring on the floor. Why is that significant?
Moonlight Man had showed her his treasures, his case full of bones and jewelry. And
so scary.
You know, and we even questioned, like, is this a hallucination? Is she just so stressed out that she's imagining this, or is this an intruder? And this is evidence, this is physical evidence of someone being there.
My favorite part of this reveal is that we have, like, the book says essentially, we have to go see what's going on with Prince because it's the closest coherent mind to now, because Jesse loses it.
Yeah, I would too. I'd be like, oh no, I have to get out of here now. I'm going to chew my arm off.
So we check in with Prince. He's a good boy who thinks she smells like death.
Oh.
And Jesse ends up reciting the mantra to calm herself down. And that is when Goody speaks up. And in this state she's in, she sees Goody for the first time. And when she sees Goody, because it's short for Good Wife Burlingame, so it evokes this Puritan aesthetic. Goody is her as a child in the stocks, and it says for sexual enticement written in pink lipstick on the stockades.
They use a specific name for the lipstick, and
it's the lipstick she got for her birthday.
It grosses me out severely each time they say it.
I think I missed that she became
I
Pumpkin.
didn't catch that either.
I thought she was a new voice. You know, the child, but I thought she was separate from
maybe that's
Goody.
my read. I might have just taken a different read on that.
Yeah, no, I also thought it was like they were separate.
And I thought Goody, Ruth, and Pumpkin started talking. Like, it was the three of them.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Which I like. That's interesting. But it's like, wait a minute. Pumpkin is so different.
Right. And seeing this child version of herself in the stocks brings back a memory of Gerald bringing home the handcuffs, because she recalled that there was two types of handcuffs. Gerald really wanted the F-27s, but got the M17s because the M and F are male and female, the numbers being the amount of teeth on the cuff, so the tighter it can get. And Gerald had a hard time getting women cuffs.
He couldn't wait, so he's got men's.
Yeah. She tries to slip out again and fails. She hears the chainsaw guy, and his existence is an insult to her. This is when she remembers the face cream. And a real sense of hope appears.
What a great idea.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a little jar of cream on the headboard above the bed. And she remembers that when she was feeling around for the water glass, she felt that jar. And she's like, please tell me that in getting the glass and putting it back, and moving that I did not knock that on the ground.
And she didn't.
No.
She was able to find it.
And she lets herself get a little carried away. Throughout the book so far, she's been like exceptionally careful with everything. And she's just a little foolhardy this time. She's just like, you know what? I'm such a like that. Yeah, this will definitely work. And there's like maybe a beat where she's like, I shouldn't be this excited.
Yeah.
I got to calm down. Because if I were to say, grab hold of it too hard and it shoot across the room from me, that'd be really bad, and I'd probably go insane.
And then that exact thing happens, and the sound of the jar hitting the floor not only doesn't drive her insane, but gives her the idea, I might not go mad at all before this is over. And that's a special kind of terrifying. She prays again, this time not for release, but for the death to be swift. And this is another, we talked about this in The Long Walk. It's the moment that recurs to me so much. She says that the next 4 hours were the worst of her life for the lack of madness. Because so we just time jump that. And it reminded me of in The Long Walk when the chapter goes, it's night. And then it immediately goes to, and in the morning. Yeah. Because you can't be there for it. It's pain and chaos and a lack of madness. She during these spasms, she occasionally talks to Nora, who is in the bathroom, her mother, who is in the hall. The cramps and spasms and pain leave her with nothing but time. Isn't it weird, the moments when you realize just how long time is?
Yeah.
I don't like waiting in a doctor's office.
I get upset when I must have looked at the seconds right as it changed, and then it's like it freezes, and I'm like, whoa, what happened to seconds?
This is when Pumpkin shows up, and she is described as having slid out of her stocks and is now in a familiar nightgown. But it was like her favorite nightgown from when she was a kid.
Something more comforting.
Yes. And Pumpkin tells her that she can get out of these cuffs if she really wants to.
You didn't try hard enough.
The answer, she says the answer is in the eclipse. And Jesse starts being a little obviously combative with it. I've thought about it. I've went through it. And Pumpkin says, no, it's before that you have to think about.
Thank God.
Right. And it's a scene we saw a little bit of earlier. Her dad was smoking glass and apparently had told her to wear gloves because the edges were sharp and could cut her hand. And she recalls that blood is as slick as oil before it clots.
Yeah. Oh, for listeners, if you're not reading this, we do have to spend way more time there on this day than Josh is explaining it.
Oh yeah,
it's
we sure do.
King makes you sit through it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's real hard.
And very well written.
Yeah. So she goes over the plan once she realizes what she is going to do. The escape plan. She rehearses it over and over to make sure she'll stay calm.
No. If they were better at BDSM, they would have had lube right there.
That's the note for this book. Just be better at BDSM.
I mean, yeah. It solves the entire book.
A message from your friendly podcast.
I swear, Eve, I thought you were going to say, yeah, that solves everything.
Well, I'm not going to argue.
Life lessons with Eve.
Right. Oh my goodness. The important thing here, though, is that once she starts, she cannot stop. You are committing to the bit.
And I like Pumpkin like supports her throughout this and keeps her in it because she's bitching about it the whole time. Which one you would?
Yes.
But she's just like, nope, you got to do it.
The idea of realizing you have to slit your wrists in order to escape and you have to be cut far, but not too far, but far enough. Because if it only bleeds a little, well, that didn't do the job.
If it bleeds too much, you pass out and you die.
If you cut tendons, you get droopy fingers, which she gets. She realizes that she has to move carefully, quickly. She smashes the glass, gets shards in her fingers, and then is like, oh, not so bad. I can barely feel these.
She's like, I got to crush this just enough to break it. Is it hyperbolic? Maybe I'm forgetting another story because it's King. Is this the most visceral scene he's written?
Like to date when he'd written it?
I don't know if I could say that.
That we've read.
But boy, howdy, it
was
awful.
Hard to, it made me feel things in my body.
Oh my God.
I had a hard time. It's really great.
The
listeners.
description of her, she shatters this in her hand and gets a chunk of glass big enough. And just the matter-of-fact way it is written that she presses it in and waits to feel the pop of piercing through the skin. It sucks.
Why are you describing it so well?
I no lie. The first time the word degloving comes up, I put the book down and walked away for a little while.
So I put in my notes, before she cuts, I set the book down. I had to. I was too riled up. Then I put, when it's described as a water tap of blood and the idea the blood might not be enough, I had to set the book down a second time. But then, good thing, it is enough blood.
It freaked me out so bad though when it's like, it's not just lubricating, when she realizes, oh, I'm ripping the skin off my hand.
I'm peeling my hand.
She's ripping skin. She's ripping tendons, fingernails.
I think I would just probably die. I think I might just die.
He describes every motion in just this like
brutal
tactile detail. So you can imagine it perfectly.
What I read the entire degloving hunched over with the book in, like, touching my nose almost, reading at a pace that was so feverish, I was afraid I was going to have to read it again for lack of retention. Like, it's insane, y'all. If you've not read it, read it.
It's gross. It's real gross.
I've heard people like describe this moment of her escaping this way as achieving autonomy through pain. Like getting her agency back, which makes, I don't know how, that feels so horrible to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
It fits the Phoenix aesthetic of burning to ash and revitalizing, that transformation cannot be acquired without some sort of pain or sacrifice or something. Yeah. So I definitely see that kind of connection.
It's so hard to
there's
think
a
of it that
rebirth
way.
to her about it.
It's kind of a parallel to her mental struggles. That she has to feel the pain. She has to go back and cause this in the moment pain of reliving this awful thing that has happened. But that's the only way she is going to get free of it and be able to go on and continue living in a way where she's not shackled to a metaphorical bed.
I had that note too, that the psychological and physical line up with each other, like having to relive that trauma to free herself emotionally and understand this wasn't her fault and make sense of all the choices she made in life, which I can't wait to get to at the end of the book. But it's I don't want to call it beautiful because therapy will do this for you too. Like,
you can either cut off your hand or you can go to therapy.
Yeah, there we go. Another message from Derry Public Radio.
So she gets her right hand free. She rolls off the left side of the bed, shocked at how well her legs are holding up.
Yeah, 'cause she's like, oh no, I rolled too quick and hard. I'm going to collapse.
But she lands it. She shoves the bed against the wall, rolls back across it to get the keys. She ends up knocking one of the keys down, but it's okay. There's still one key. And I love when she shoves the bed, she steps on Gerald's stomach and he burps.
I hate that.
No, but I love
no,
it.
I know what you're
Yeah, because she's like, Gerald, excuse yourself, with no hint of irony. It's just the madness. Like, this is, from this point on, she's batshit.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many crazy asides that you just have to roll with. This is impulse.
Yeah.
Leading the way. So she gets lightheaded at all the effort and briefly shifts back to thinking about Dolores. There's just like a real wave. She thinks about the woman she saw, and then she's back. She unlocks her hands, and how would you describe her reaction to seeing her hands free for the first time?
Reasonable.
I wrote shrieking at the edge of madness, which was same thing.
To have a wound that you wouldn't even want to wrap, because stop me if I've told this on podcast before. I once put my hand into a space that had a razor blade there, and I didn't know it.
Oh,
yes.
And I sliced off a good chunk of the tip of my finger.
You did tell
I
this
hate
story.
that.
Might have been on Patreon though.
Okay, so I felt very connected to this part because it bled enough that I could hear the sound of the patters of blood on my leg. And I had this moment. I grabbed a hand towel, and I had a moment where I was like, oh, what's this going to be like pressing this towel against my flesh wound? Yeah. But I have to, because I have to make this stop bleeding. I can't imagine if that was my whole hand.
Oh, Christ.
She gets a little lucky, though, like the nerve damage. She feels sensation, but not the pain a degloving might make you feel.
She has to crawl under the bed in order to get to the bathroom now. And while crawling under the bed, she sees the dust bunnies, and the dust bunnies make her think of that woman again.
She's under her bed.
Vera's nightmares.
Yep.
So
Cool.
she gets to the bathroom and licks some standing water off the floor. Gross.
Like you do.
Crawls her way up to the sink, drinks water until she boots and rallies. And
now, one thing, did I miss why she just had like gray standing water in her bathroom?
The water dripped. So it was just a drip on the floor that had been puddling. The quote I wrote was, it was as if the body disdained memory or refused the responsibility of it. I just really like that.
That's cool.
She has to get herself moving, but it's hard to move anything. There's a sense of relief having gotten free, having gotten water. These were unattainable things a moment ago.
She keeps thinking, like, I know passing out it's not an if, it's a when.
Right.
So I need to do something now because I am free and conscious. And that's not going to last forever.
She uses tampons and a pad to
maxi pad tourniquet.
Yep, figures that out, and then she it's actually Ruth that gets her going when Ruth is like, how stupid would it be to die here after everything you did?
She keeps just sort of like getting lost in the moment, and her voices are dragging her to staying alive.
This is a moment I want to get your take on it because it shocked me in the most pleasant way possible. She has to now cross over the bed to get out because she doesn't want to risk trying to get down and crawl under again. And the moment she kneels on the bed, she is filled with a wave of fear and just absolute loathing. How did that moment hit for you?
Oh, it makes so much sense. It's like when you get into a car accident, if it's bad enough, and then every time there's anything even remotely, like a line of cars, and you think, oh no, something bad is, it's like that. It's triggering.
Yeah. She makes her way to the phone, but it's dead. She thinks about checking it, but it is instantly positive. The other being the space cowboy cut the wires.
Well, I love this moment because she's like, it takes so much mental energy for her to like, it's literally just her like walking through her house. It seems there's no immediate stakes that we know as readers to be definite. It is just her sense of like, can't sleep here, don't sleep here, danger.
You can't be here when night falls.
But the simplicity of the things that she is doing and the like reality of her being like, oh, it's not plugged in. I could bend over and I could get on the floor and check, but I'm not getting off the floor. Like it's the step by step, like I only have so much energy. I have to spend it very wisely. I really liked that part.
It's so well written.
She gets up and the room spins again, and she is out on the bed as daylight drains from the room like blood from a tampon triage. She comes to and it's now dark, or it's getting there. Prince howls and it sounds nightmarish, and so she has this, or no, it is night. It's full dark. She hears a creak on the floor outside and knows it's back. And she has to walk down the hall.
So do either of you two ever get this feeling all the time for no reason?
That someone's
no.
Your whole lives? No.
That someone's there.
Is this just an anxiety disorder?
That someone's just
a thing
in my house?
I watched a lot of horror movies too young, and so I'd sometimes used to get the feeling being like, there's someone fucking behind me. Since I was a kid, it was like the classic thing of like, I would be downstairs in our basement, which was furnished and like had stuff down there, and I'd be down there playing video games by myself, and suddenly I'd just be like, monsters, and I just like gotta get out of here.
Holy
just
shit.
Immediate fight or flight for no reason. So I related. It's what I'm trying to say.
I have that, but only when I'm talking shit about someone and they're right behind me. That's how
That
it happens to
makes
me. Yeah. She can't help but look, though, as she walks. She passes Gerald's office and she knows it's there, but she has to look. She has to. Turns and it tries to smile at her. And once again, it holds its bag out, shows her the treasures.
Not speaking.
Nope.
Not otherwise moving. Which is worse.
The presenting of the trinkets is very scary.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, don't show me that.
But I love her rationale, though. She takes her wedding ring off, drops it in the bag, and then bounces.
I do like that.
You made that sound so cool. It was terrifying, Derry.
It's so terrifying.
She thinks he's death.
The constant, from this point to before we do a time jump, she is constantly sure she's going to turn around and it's going to come running out the door, running down the hall, running down the road. It's just going to be there.
Well, it's scarier too because when she throws her rings at him, he doesn't move.
Nope.
They fall on the ground and he just stares at her. He doesn't. That's worse than anything else he could have done.
Eventually, she makes her way into the Mercedes. After a lot of struggle, having to use her right hand to jam it into drive to get it started. I glossed over it, but every time she fades, she smacks her right hand against something, and it's badass.
Yeah.
So she gets in the car and drives at a very reasonable 10 miles an hour until she realizes it could probably run fast enough to catch up to me. Then she drives faster. Then she looks in the mirror and it's there. And then she crashes her car.
Isn't it in the back seat?
It's in the back seat. Yeah.
Oh.
And
so y'all have never been driving in your mom's Windstar minivan and it's midnight and you're listening to I Write Sins Not Tragedies while driving home from play practice, and you suddenly go, remember Urban Legend? That was scary. Fuck, there's a person in the back seat.
No, I always
You've never thought that.
There was once a person in my grandma's back seat.
In real life?
Yeah.
That happened to me once.
I was in someone's backseat once.
Josh.
I scared a grandma. It was for her own good.
Was it my grandma?
It might have been. Did she work at... I can't say the name of the place she worked at. She never locked her car and we wanted to teach her a lesson.
Okay. We need to talk after the podcast.
All right. We were still friends after. Me and the grandma specifically. She's a rad lady. Anyway,
what were we talking about?
she crashes her car.
Yeah.
Not horribly, though.
No.
She crashes
10 miles
into
an hour.
someone's driveway, right?
I don't know that I have words enough to describe how much I love this sequence.
What's coming up?
The whole her running, her escape, because at no point is it clear whether this thing is even real or not. I really, really love it.
Well, her seeing it in the back seat makes it seem like it was a hallucination, but we had the evidence of the jewelry.
It's just a really, really cool, terrifying sequence that makes you. It really illustrates how far gone she is.
What's even better is that it's so much scarier retroactively when we know what we know about the space cowboy, which is what
now here's
I love
the
that
question.
the epilogue is basically this guy.
At her final escape, do you think he was there?
Yeah.
During the final escape?
Yeah.
You thought she was actually running from him at some point?
I think so, because we can talk about this now or when we find out what he does and why.
I think it's reasonable he might have come back on the second night.
But the reason I think
like
he
that
didn't
thought of you.
kill her right away in the first night and then wasn't as after her is because she's not quite his victim type.
Yeah.
And not what he wants to do.
Well, and she's
with.
not real. She's made of moonlight.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Oh, wait, you got to describe that because that comes back later.
We'll get to it. we jump to February, which is 4 months.
She wakes up in the hospital. We didn't say that.
She wakes up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Then we jump to 4 months later. It's February. She is typing a letter to Ruth, and she's wearing a glove on her right hand. We find out that she had to have multiple surgeries, and she wears this like pressure glove, regloving, just like Luke Skywalker.
She has an awesome helper.
Yeah, who definitely has the shine, right?
That lady's sharp.
Yeah, because she specifically says, seems to know what I need before I ask for it. Always checks on me in the right times.
Or maybe Jesse's just finally got a companion who isn't Gerald or her dad.
Yeah.
And knows what it's like to be treated like a person instead of an object.
But it's the reason February jumps out so much at this time is that she laughs for the first time since the hard time. What do you think about her describing it as the hard time?
She notices that Jesse smiles. It's such a rare thing that she's like, you all right?
But what do you think about her referring to this whole ordeal as her hard time?
What a way
what
for
else?
her to put that.
Yeah, it's an interesting... she faked losing her memory, which I love that she says, I wonder if all the people who went through something insane like I did just
keep certain parts to yourself.
Right, and it adds a conspiratorial element that makes her really happy.
Yeah.
But she realized after the escape she needed to live her life, so she called Nora. Nora's dead, so
that
she
made
gets
me
a new
feel sad.
therapist.
Well, yeah, because she wanted to go to therapy again.
But I like that it also symbolizes all of the new starts. She's not going back to her old therapist.
Yeah.
She's seeking
which is probably
new.
good.
Yeah. Then we find out a new character, Brandon Milleran. He knows some of the details.
I am so glad that this is not a romantic.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thing.
That would not have added anything to it.
Absolutely
I think
not.
I like that she recognizes he's got like a little crush because she's like, it's because there's an exoticness about everything that I went through.
Yeah.
I know that.
She's
but
a badass. It's attractive.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's part, like, she does say that she's like, he falls in love with me in the way he's falling in love with being the hero of this situation.
With
and
being a white
Because
knight.
he likes that he can come in and be like, hey, we all thought Gerald was a douchebag. Like, it's cool. There were things. We weren't blind. I think the section is interesting because of all of the navigating he does with her and the police and how, I mean, she has good attorney.
Yeah.
Backed by a successful firm. So they're going to craft a story together, which I did not expect, but really liked.
One of the details I liked the most was that when she says how not hard it was to get the police on board
Mhm.
because they've seen worse and they've seen it end
Yup.
poorly and they didn't want her to be a joke.
Police corruption saves the day again.
I like too that he's telling her, because she wanted to be more open and honest about things, but he's like, if you tell the story to them the way you told it to me, it's going to look like you had an accomplice in killing your husband.
Yeah.
Don't bring up another person.
Because he had great insurance, so they went over the scene with a fine-tooth comb. They
Didn't find any
discovered
jewelry.
no jewelry was found, which is interesting. But in this note to Ruth, she talks about one of the hardships is that the space cowboy has never left her. Every noise in the night is him in the house.
And this guy's telling her, what's his name, Brandon?
Yeah.
That he's doing it in a nice way, but he's basically like, no, that guy wasn't real. Let it go.
But then Raymond starts appearing in the newspaper, and she starts paying attention. Let's talk about Raymond.
Raymond Andrew, is it Joubert?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I love this because it's really gross.
Yep.
He's the space cowboy. He's the Moonlight Man. He's a necrophiliac and grave robber. And so what they find out is that for a very, very long time, he has been, starting with robbing graves. He eventually progressed to breaking into homes, and he enjoys doing things with the bodies, mostly of men.
He's Ed Gein.
Yeah.
This whole, the final 40 pages of this book just becoming a book report about this guy.
I dig it.
Very weird.
It's a king ending. I think.
I did come down on the side of liking it, but I do have to say how fucking annoyed I am, and it's because it's the Ed Gein thing.
Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Ed Gein thing.
You don't have to get that asshole's name right. It's fine.
This is literally just like a spin on Ed Gein's whole story. But having to throw in the one fucking sentence of they found in his house and had a bunch of ladies' lingerie because he liked wearing ladies.
Yeah.
Makes me fucking roll my eyes
get rid of
every
that.
fucking time.
Yeah.
When he is discovered and is a true person, she needs to know 3 things. She tells Brandon, I need to know he was real, he did what he did, and he will never be in my bedroom again. And a note that I made, the arrest made by Sheriff Norris Ridgwick.
Yeah,
that was
cool.
exciting.
He learned from the best, baby. I do love that after they arrest him, take him to jail, they go back for the van, and they discover a sandwich with a tongue in it. And Norris throws up because Norris has got to throw up.
Throws up.
My boy.
I loved all the just little throwaways of Sheriff Ridgwick of being like, oh, well, the time I was talking to him, he like double and triple checked something. He sure is fastidious. and it's like, that's so funny because he's double and triple checking because he's kind of a dingus.
He's Norris.
And he's like, he's good at his job. So he's just making sure that he's doing well. I love that.
We got the most of him because we got him in a few things, right? But it was Needful Things
we got
that
a lot
we
of
spent
them.
most of our time with Norris.
Oh, we get to note that Needful Things happened the year prior.
Yep.
Because the fire was last year. Raymond remarked that the reason he was caught was he wasn't wearing his necklace of lucky dicks. They found out that he had killed and mutilated his mom and stepdad. And when Jesse sees State Exhibit 217, a photo of the basket that she saw, and it is in fact not a basket, it is a mortician's body box.
Of course.
The description of the dude's house.
Yeah,
walks
so
through.
gross.
Yeah.
Jesse's like, there's no way for me to know until I see him. I did write down the genetic disease he has, that his the arms and legs and face features will grow continually. Which I one time hosted a freak show with the great Boobzilla, who has gigantomastia. Her breasts will never stop growing.
Gigantomastia?
Yes. Her breasts will never stop growing.
Huh.
She broke a cinder block.
I'm
It was
going to assume
awesome.
that the people running the event used that
Yes,
nomenclature.
that is the
okay.
name of their, yes.
Gotcha.
So the only way to know for sure is to see him.
Mhm.
And Brandon tries to fight her.
Because he's still kind of resistant to the idea that this is connected to her situation.
Yes.
And I love her writing about him in her journal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because all of this is just given to us through her writing route.
To Ruth.
To Ruth.
And the number of times that she's like, girl, you know how fucking men are. The patronizing. Like I loved, like I said, I was real worried that this was going to be, and then I fell in love with a different lawyer.
No, it's even better. She reminds me
so
of Rosie.
great.
Rosie at the end.
Yeah.
Because there isn't this like beautiful romantic loving relationship happening. It's a woman who's been through some hard shit and is hardened by it, but is okay with that because
And
she
has
is who
come
she
out
is.
the other side and been like,
I don't need you.
Actually, I'm gonna date women. Wait, is that just subtext?
Sometimes.
Is that something I invented entirely? Okay, never mind.
Well, Brandon finds out when the arraignment is going to take place. So he takes Jesse against his
And
better
he's like,
judgment.
you have to be, you can't, you just gotta
You
be
gotta
a
be
statue.
chill.
And she's like, I'll be chill.
Be cool. I'm
He is-
bringing you in front of my
well,
judge. Be cool.
I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
He's right. But I love that she's like, oh, I'll be cool. Fuck you.
Yeah. And she keeps getting closer to him and closer to him when she enters the courtroom.
And she's veiled, right? She's got her face kind of covered.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he's
I was
protecting
like, wait,
her.
did I imagine
Well,
that?
because he didn't want anybody to
associate
connect
her
the
with,
two.
yeah. Because they created that story.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if that comes out?
And she gets so close that she can basically touch him, and he turns and sees her, and he lights up. He is so happy to see her, and he says, "I don't think you're anyone. You're only made of moonlight."
But his voice is like not what she expected.
It's like whiny and high pitched. The way that this is described, because Brandon pushes her down into the bench directly behind this guy when he turns around. And I don't know, the way it is her describing the horror coming to life as this dude starts to move. I could picture this so clearly. The dude would make a great haunted house decoration. So I think what I'm trying to say.
The movie's so good. The actor.
I'm really excited to see the
the
movie.
actor has the
and by that
disease.
I mean I'm not really actually.
You'll see a real representation of it.
That's cool.
Yeah. She spits in his face. And
Hell
that's
yeah.
to be escorted out quickly.
Then the judge is like, I need to talk to you
Yeah.
and your attorney.
So she.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do love though that when this goes down, Brandon is like, oh shit, you were right.
Yeah. It's very intense.
Mm-hmm.
But she finishes this letter, and there's a moment where she's trying to decide whether she will send it or not. And she, like, if I remember, she leaves a note and is like, send this. If I tell you not to send it anyway. It's very great.
Her hovering, are we at that point where she is writing to Ruth? She's finishing the letter and she writes out this, like, the worst part is a reminiscence about the night with this dude in the room with her and how she would have gladly offered herself to him to not die horribly. And she's like, instantly like, that's too much. I can't
It's a
say
burden,
that. That's
basically.
yeah. And she's like, I don't want to. I want to delete this, not just because it's too awful to write and to actually, but because if I put this into words, I'm gonna have to fucking deal with it. I love that. And that's like the whole message of the entire book.
Yeah.
That is the moral of the book is, oh, God damn it. If I acknowledge my problems, I have to fucking deal with it. And that sucks. But it is the only way to
come out the other side.
Not be shackled to a metaphorical bed.
Yeah.
And that evening, night comes, and it doesn't fill her with terror, and her dreams are not unpleasant.
For the first time.
It's a start, but Jesse's going to be okay. And that's the end of Gerald's game.
Fucking yikes, y'all.
I have one question for you guys.
Okay.
I had a few, but we kind of talked about them throughout, which is fun. But like one of the themes, because we've talked a lot about themes, monstrosity versus humanity. I was curious, do you think, and this can kind of go into some critiques people often have of King endings, but do you think the Moonlight Man being real undercuts the horror of the uncertainty of him? Or did you feel like that worked really well?
I think what I like about it is it adds knowing what a monster he is, then going back and knowing that she is in his presence just makes it a little extra tense.
Okay.
So I think that it was a real, and she was truly and really in danger, all but for the fact that he didn't think she was real. That's what saved her life, essentially, and that he was probably coming back the second night to see if she was still there.
I didn't realize he didn't think she was real. I thought you said,
didn't.
you're not dead enough.
He said, you're made of moonlight.
But that's what she said.
She was mocking him.
He says that to her.
He was mocking her, saying that to him.
Yeah, because she said that she screamed that at him, and that was just him.
Oh, repeating it back to
Gotcha.
her.
Which was like us knowing that he was really there because he knew her. He threw her words back.
He threw her words back at her. Gotcha.
I can see how you could interpret it that way, though. That's
that,
a cool interpretation. Oh, I had asked, does him being real undercut the horror of not knowing?
I went back and forth on that because my knee-jerk reaction, because like I was very, like I said, during her escape, where it was like very much unclear if he was there at all, or if maybe he had been there and now her seeing him in the car was the manifestation of a delusion. I like that uncertainty, and the ending definitely, for the beginning of it, I kept thinking like, this feels very tacked on. The explanation of, and now to answer the question. And now you have this big question, and here are all the definitive answers. I was like, I don't like that very much. I would have liked it to remain maybe a question until the very end, her spitting in his face.
Yeah.
I love that as him being so in her mind. The whole point of the ending is her getting past this. In her mind, he is built up to be what he was in the bed, which is a specter. The ultimate, the like archetype of all of the evils that men have done to her entire life. And making it be not just, the specters of masculinity or whatever, but like, okay, in this case, this is one more just human man who has violated you, who came in and refused to help you and intimidated you and did all of these terrible things. But here he is. He's real. He's just a dude. And giving her that chance to spit in his face and be like, get the fuck out of here.
That's so
weird
funny.
Ass loser.
That is the exact same conclusion I came to, because I was torn on it. I was torn on it too. And then I was like, wait a minute, him being real goes with all the themes of the book. You know, her trauma was real. Her dad was a real monster. He is a real monster. And so, yeah, for me, it didn't undercut it. And it also made me reflect, because I've been thinking a lot about King's Ending because, you know, sometimes people love them, sometimes people hate them. But for me, I feel like the ones that often don't work for people, which this almost, you know, might not, I feel like it's because sometimes the horror that he is sharing is more of this, like, things being more based in reality than in the uncertainty of the unknown. Because sometimes, I don't know, his endings sometimes reflect the messiness of human life when a story or a chapter in your life is wrapping up. And this kind of felt
I like that.
a little bit like that to me too. Like, this grounds us in reality, but it's because it's an appropriate way to end this particular story.
Yeah, I like that a lot. The ending is a win for me because she's not happily ever after. I like the fact that the dreams are not unpleasant is a very specific phrasing.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't, and they all lived happily ever after the story.
Yeah.
I feel like, grounding is the right word for it. Let's do our ratings. I'm going to go first because mine is very short and sweet. I didn't want to finish this book,
Mm.
but I couldn't abandon Jesse.
Aw.
And for that reason, I have to give it 5 out of 5 blue chambray shirts. I got so attached to her. I had to finish.
No, very real. There were several points in this book where I was like, oh no, I don't know, Stevie. This one's rough. For a character that I started the book not liking that very much.
Mhm.
The writing, everything is great. I will say I cannot give it 5 out of 5 because holy hell, it made me so uncomfortable. But I will give it a very high 4 out of 5 blue chambray shirts.
Nice.
Sam?
Oh, you guys are right. This was so hard to read. And I'm trying to think, like, would I recommend someone read this? And I think I would, but only after explaining that it is a traumatic read. Because I do think that King writes Jesse's experience so beautifully and so accurately. I mean, we all found a way to relate to her, whether through similar experiences or experiences that mirror, the kind of deep digging and emotional pain that she goes through. And we sometimes give him shit for how he writes female characters. I think he nailed it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm impressed. I would say, yeah, read it if you're in the right frame of mind for that, because her journey of freeing herself is really worth a read.
Would you say if you want to read it, you should, but here, let me read it for you? Would
listen to our episodes. Is that what you mean?
No, it's like for your sibling.
Oh, God, oh my gosh. Thanks for reminding me of that. So I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 blue chambray shirts. And that is it for this episode of Derry Public Radio. As always, thank you for listening. Join us for our next episode where we will be covering the Netflix movie of Gerald's Game. For Joshua Kahn and Eve Gatto, I'm CM Alexander reminding you, sometimes it takes heart to write about a thing, doesn't it? Hey everyone, thank you for listening to Gerald's Game Part 2. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, we love to hear your thoughts. Let us know on our social media. Search Derry Public Radio on your preferred platform. You can also email us at derrypublicradio@gmail.com. And if you enjoyed our discussion of this episode, I ask that you please rate and review us on whatever you're listening to, because it really does help us. Don't forget to check out our Patreon page for bonus episodes, patreon.com/derrypublicradio, and our Etsy store for merchandise, etsy.com/derrypublicradio. That's all for now, listeners. Goodbye.